Now, in a bid to ensure more accountability and transparency in government institutions and the National Assembly, Select Committee on Education held consultations with the Gambia Press Union and other partners on the Access to Information Bill ahead of its passage to the National Assembly. Details of that in this report by Julden Jai.
The National Assembly in Banjul on Tuesday engaged stakeholders on additional information on the Access to Information Bill, through which the Gambia Press Union seeks to ensure the enforcement of the right to information, especially for journalists. The bill, once enacted, will improve government's transparency and accountability through the sharing and receiving of information among the citizenry. Key partners such as persons with disabilities took part in the plenary session to argue for their rights ahead of its passage to Committee of the Whole House. Mohamed Kurubari, who represented the differently able persons, said that it is the right time for the lawmakers to cater for their needs in terms of access to information. He presented hopes that the new bill will rhyme with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in the aspect of languages and accessible media.
Because you remember, for example, myself and many other blind and visual impaired don't read these print, written scripts. How do we access information? It's either through Braille, either soft copy or electronic copies or tactile. If you go to the deaf and hard of hearing, how do they access information? The information should be available to them in some cases through sign language interpretation. So you can see that there are still restrictions or barriers in terms of accessing information.
The representative for Upper Salum, Ala Jimbo, assured that the bill will also empower public bodies to be responsive to public access to information to ensure that no one is left behind.
Where a person, subsection to where a person with a disability wishes to make a request, the information officer shall take all necessary steps to assist the person to make the request in a manner that meets the needs of the person with disability, which complies with the Act. So I think, Mr. Kurbali, we just have to ensure that the entire population, especially the public bodies, know that when you make a request, they must give you the information in a format that can easily be used by people with disability.
The Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, Sekou Jammeh, said the international best practice requires a line ministry to oversee the implementation and coordination of the Act. Informed by research done by the union, he observed that the administration of information affairs is under the affairs of the Attorney General's chambers and not under the Minister for Information as obtained in the Gambia. Now on, the bill will be subjected to general debate, during which members will have opportunity to vote on its general principles and clauses. It will also undergo detailed investigation at committee stage, followed by a report to the National Assembly. For iAfrica News, I am Julden Jai.